my pick for sleeper hit for 2023 is Stellar Blade. When that game was first announced as Project Eve, I was like, "Oh, okay." On the Xbox stage, mind you. So, oh, this looks interesting. It's a nice character action game from a Korean developer. Like that's interesting. We don't get a lot of games from Korea. It looks cool. The action looks great. The graphics look great. The weapons and everything, character designs, everything about it looked good. I was like, huh, all right, this could be something. And then it got re-revealed as a PlayStation exclusive called Stellar Blade, where it showed that it looked even better than the first times they were showing it. New cutscenes, new weapons. Looks like it could be a new mascot for something. Just like, hey, since Bayonetta stuck on Nintendo. They're like, hey, this could be our Bayonetta for PlayStation. Should have been on Xbox, but they dropped the ball on that. And now it's on PlayStation. What do you guys think?
I forgot it existed because they hadn't showed it in such a long time, and they were revealing so many other great games in the last 2 years that I was just like, it was on the back of my head. I had no idea what it was. And then when we saw that state of play together and we saw that game and what it was to become a PlayStation 5 exclusive Stellar Blade, that trailer blew me away. It literally brought me back to when I first saw that trailer years back. And I said, wow. And it looked amazing. The blend of sword fighting with the gunplay. You're a female protagonist. Art style is amazing. Bad guys look great. You're running around silky smooth 60 frames per second. It shows no stuttering. This game was impressive on many levels. This is stylized characters in a blended mix of combat. And you actually love looking at this protagonist. You actually love looking at the art style. The characters that they were showing were unique. Some of them were grotesque downright. And I was still like, wow, this world looks massive. This world looks amazing. I'm really looking forward to this game. I didn't even know it was coming out in 2023 until the Don mentioned it earlier. And I'm actually thinking that this could steal a lot of thunder from some of these games. Now, the real question is, I think the biggest concern is it going to stay in 2023, right? Right now, the Don, I believe before we started, you mentioned that it was 2023. That's it. It didn't really have a release date. This could easily become a Sony has so many hits and they're selling so well that we're just going to push this game.
They might do this Forspoken. Remember when Forspoken got delayed out of September? Square Enix put out that weird press release saying that, yeah, after consulting with our partners, we've decided to delay this game to January. And it's like, what? And then you look at the game Square Enix released. They released 5 games from September to December. 5 games. That would have been number 6. They said, nah. Pump the brakes, Square. Put this in January. Yeah, they might do the same thing with this, but I would argue Sony hasn't announced any games for 2023. The only first-party game they have is Spider-Man 2. That's probably, my guess, is going to release in September, which is the same time the first Spider-Man released on PS4. So you have the first quarter for Sony empty outside of Forspoken. So you got that in January. Then you have nothing until June, which is Final Fantasy 16. You got 2 months later in September, possibly Spider-Man. What do you got for the fall? You can put this in the fall, probably in like October, maybe December. And yeah, I don't think they will push it out. Maybe if they suddenly have this magic slate of games we don't know about that they haven't announced, it's possible, yeah. But I think it would still fit in. And this game is old. It was first debuted in what, like 2019, 2018, something like that, when it was Project Eve.
So here's what I think about Stellar Blade. Amazing graphics, fluid, it looks next gen. But I feel like I've seen this game 1,000 times already, going back to Ninja Gaiden on Xbox 360. Hack and slash, the backgrounds, you're in a big room fighting one enemy, doing these crazy anime. We've seen this 1,000 times. This type of game never impressed. Now, we're talking about Sleeper Hit. Is this gonna blow up, sell millions upon millions of copies? Are kids in high school going to be talking about how crazy this game is and they can't and they love playing it? No, I don't think that will happen. I think this is going to get a niche audience that likes this type of game, that has been waiting for Bayonetta on PlayStation. Now they're finally going to have their wish. All 500,000 of those people. Other than that, it looks amazing. I can't wait for other games to look like this.
Objection, Desert Eagle. I want to bring evidence to the table of Devil May Cry 5, which sold 6 million copies in 2022.
So you think those Devil May Cry buyers are gonna jump on this brand new IP they never heard of?
That's the
100
biggest
To
question.
play the same game they already played.
There's 5 Devil May Cries, baby.
Correct. And that's the argument I'll have against you, the Don. There's 5 of them going all the way back to what? PlayStation 2? So we're talking about 4 generations already? 2, 3, 4, 5. We're talking a lot of generations of Devil May Cry that people got to grow up on and love. And once again, that's not taking anything away from Stellar Blade because this game looks literally amazing. But Desert Eagle brought up a good point. Is this going to go crazy? I know the style is very sexualized. I know that can bring in some people and some visuals that make it look appealing. But we're talking about a game that not a lot of people know, from a developer and studio that not a lot of people know, at least in the console space. And this is their first foray. It is shiny. It does look really, really good, but it's a full retail next-gen game, which I believe is going to be 70 cash. And when you have all of these other hits stacked up and you're asking consumers to say, hey, are you spending 70 on Spider-Man 2 or are you spending 70 on Stellar Blade? I don't know how many battles that's going to win. And Spider-Man isn't the only Smash coming on PlayStation.
Exhibit B, Scarlet Nexus. That game was a new IP, similar type of style, except it's more of an RPG in it. I don't know how much RPG mechanics this game is going to have, but that game, new IP, came out of nowhere. Bandai Namco. That game sold 1 million copies. I mean, it may not sell 5, sure, but if it sells 1 million on the first time at bat, that's a win.
1 million on first release for a game and studio, that's a sleeper hit to me. That's a guaranteed sleeper hit.
If you brought up that game, you were also asking, why would Xbox let Stellar Blade go? You answered the question. Scarlet Nexus, they already have the game.
Bro, come on.
The same game.
Nah. Scarlet Nexus does not look half as good as this game. And I thoroughly enjoyed Scarlet
You're talking
Nexus.
about graphics. You're talking about graphics. I'm talking about the game itself. There's always going to be better and better and better graphics, but it's the same game. Once I saw 2 seconds of gameplay footage, I was like, oh yeah, that's the same as Scarlet Nexus.
Yeah, but this is 2023 PS5. There's no PS5 exclusives. There's no Xbox Series X
Xbox
exclusives.
said, hey, we don't need it. We got it.
They said that about Genshin Impact too. How's that looking?
What did they have?
Genshin Impact.
Desert Eagle brought up a very good point earlier when he mentioned the Ninja Gaiden comparison. This literally reminds me of what Ninja Gaiden did for the original Xbox when it first released. Shiny, very fluid, solid frames, hacks and slash gameplay,
Technical masterpiece.
Awesome visuals. This literally reminds me of that. This also reminds me of the Bayonetta series. Once again, very sexy, feminine protagonist, stylized gunplay, stylized fighting. It looks like it's almost blending the best of those 2 games and making this. I can't see this game failing, to be honest. I think even if it gets, let's say if it gets 7.5, 8, I think it's still going to sell based off of what they've shown already. I don't think this game is going to get a demo. I don't think it needs a demo. I think it can just release now and sell. I think it's ready. I think they've had it for so long. I don't see why. But once again, no release date. Like, I don't understand why they don't have a release date. They can't find a window to put this game in. And that's concerning.
I really don't care how much the game sells. This game looks good to me, and I'm excited for it.
How much it sells is important for the future of the IP. The last thing I want to do is invest in a game and they say, hey, you sold, this game flopped. This went double wood. We're never bringing it back. And it's a great game. That's the worst. Because then it's like, wow, I really invested in this character, in this world, and now I can never play it again. Although, like you said, it's going to be probably a cult sleeper hit, and we'll never see it again for another 25 years until they decide to bring the character back.
Yeah, man. I don't mind. Sometimes you don't need sequels.
If you liked our content, mash that like button. And if you're new to the channel and want to see more content, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.